Our 2 cents.
With Oscar.
Welcome back to our 2 cents. We're doing it again here at Raxo Studios with Oscar, your host, our 2 cents, Oscar.com, our 2 cents on all social media. Thank you for all your support. Please hit that subscribe button. It's free to you and it means the world to me. And now that we've gotten the welcoming procedure out of the way, let's congratulate to those people who are celebrating National Boricuiners. I hope that's the right pronunciation. Boricuiners. On April 13th, National Boricuiners Day recognizes the sacrifice of the Puerto Rican Regiment of the Volunteer Infantry. Today, Today, the regiment is designated the 65th Infantry Regiment of the United States Army. You know, people get only celebrated when you can help them. But when you need them to provide for your island, you just toss rolls of paper at them. What is that about? Congress first authorized a voluntary military presence in Puerto Rico after the island became a United States territory in 1899. That was the year that, you know what? If we count this, how long ago was this? This wasn't even a person ago. I gotta say that. It's gotta be it. Since the Spanish-American War, Puerto Rico military personnel have served honorably, though often in limited or non-combat roles. At the end of World War II, and the military demobilized in the 65th Infantry. However, when the Korean War broke out, the United States reactivated the combat-ready units that included the 61st. During the Korean War, the 61st adopted the nickname the Boricuiners. Is that offensive? It's gotta be. The name honors the Taino Indians, the original inhabitants of Puerto Rico, or the island of Boricuans. Why am I saying that whitewashed? It's Boricuan. Their operations during the Korean War provided a substantial support. The Boricuaners received numerous decorations, including more than 27 Purple Hearts, 600 Bronze Stars, 250 Silver Stars, and 9 Distinguished Served Crosses, and 1 Medal of Honor, among other recommendations and awards. Well, it is what it is. I mean, if you're from Puerto Rico and I guess you have something to celebrate about today, I don't know what that's about, but if you were to see my face I'm making right now, that's how I feel about military issues. Now, I know they're important to defend each other, but if the whole world eliminated all the militaries, then what would the problem be? And if the whole world eliminates all the, what do they call them now? Oligarchs? That's what they call rich people now. I guess they think that's an offensive term. Anyways, this type of subjects always make me hungry because it's so stressful that all I want to do is eat. So this next celebration makes more sense if that's what that celebrating that makes me, right? National Make Lunch Count Day. Oh my God, that's me about every day. I don't think this should be a day because I already celebrate every single day. On April 13th, if it would have been on a Friday, it would have been different. We have an opportunity to break a trend that has been occurring around the country by joining a national Make Lunch Count. According to a recent study commissioned by TGIF Fridays, and are we really going to believe a restaurant? Are we really going to believe them? After what the sugar industry did to every single one of us. Look at it. They did this. They did this. The sugar industry did this, not me. The majority of the U.S. workers suffer from FOLO, otherwise known as fear of lunching out. Wait the fuck a minute. Who suffers about this shit? Fear of lunching out. You know what? I fear lunching out. You know why? It's not because I'm scared of going out. I have fear of lunching out because of the fucking bill. It's way too expensive. Many workers eat lunch at their desk or at least twice a week. Well, I guess if you consider the houses I work construction in, but not necessarily constructing the whole house, but just doing a certain repair or doing a certain job, doesn't signify that I constructed the whole house by myself. But anyways, I guess that's, see, this is wrong because I know a lot of people that eat in the place they work. So this, 73. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. You're right. While 1/3 have lunch at their desk every day, which would be including me, don't fear lunching out any longer. Well, you have to take a break away from your work because you're going to smoke around people. Taking a break from the workday improves productivity. You know what? Taking a session break also improves productivity. That includes taking a lunch break. Can we take a lunch break at a place where they sell some marijuana? Maybe. You know, that would be a great place to take a break. Take a 10, 20 minutes to refuel. Also reinvigorates your creative juices. Our brains and bodies need a daily break when you return. The daily break. When you return, you'll be refreshed and ready for new ideas and approaches to do whatever your job throws your way. You know what I like when my job throws my way? When it's time to go home, I enjoy that. I cannot deny the time that is set for one to be. I'm out. My time's up in this bitch. One day we'll be able to say, I'm giving you my 2-week notice and I'm not coming back tomorrow. I would like to say that. One day it'll be a reality, but for now we just got to keep on trucking, right? There's more time than life, so life's going to fucking go to waste if you don't pick a path or if you don't work your path. Anyways, so what's been going on around the world, right? I mean, not just around the world, just across the U.S., I should say, right? Well, first of all, everybody's talking about that self-driving vehicle. Now, first in history, right? Self-driving vehicle gets pulled over. And to everybody's surprise, well, not to everybody's surprise, but to the officer's surprise, the vehicle empty. So who do you sanction in that situation? Do you sanction the company that the vehicle drives for, or do you sanction there's no driver, but technically there is a driver, which would be the owner because it's his car. So can they give the ticket to the owner of the self-driven vehicle? I don't know, but I just think that they're making this shit. It's not because see, I also think it's kind of a big deal, right? But if we're thinking about history, this shit right here will be written in history books. We're seeing it live. By the time we're and hopefully it's not anytime soon for all you fucks that don't exercise and eat too much sugar like I've been doing the last 2 days. Oh man, it's been horrible. I don't want to talk about it. I'm searching for a food coma. I have not been in one of those in a long time. And allow me to say that I don't enjoy being in food comas. Although I do enjoy the process of getting there. But anyways, I don't even know how I started talking about food coma. Anyways, well, only one thing we can get out of this, right? That this is hysterical. So, whose right is the police going to violate in this situation? I'll wait. Tell me. That's what I'm saying. They're not going to violate the rights of the owner of that vehicle. And after it's all said and done, that vehicle got away with it. Now, imagine, let's just say, I identify as a self-driving vehicle person. Can you do that? I think I can. I think anybody can, right? If we're just handing out random names, can I choose my adjective too? So from now on, anytime that anybody refers to me, they'll refer to me as handsome. That's the adjective I want to go for. Right? Can we do that? Is that allowed? And I don't even know how we got into this subject if we're talking about self-driving vehicles, which I have no knowledge of. And to be frank, I'm excited about self-driving vehicles because that will eliminate human error. But it will also add machine error. And let's compare human errors with machine errors. What are the statistics? And I'm pretty sure the statistics are pretty far apart. I'm pretty sure the human error is way higher than a robot, self-driving vehicle error. I don't know. But also, there hasn't been that many self-driven vehicles for that long yet. They've been around, 1-2 years? We're still in the baby steps, right? What's coming? I mean, look at how Tesla started. It couldn't even read the stop signs. Now it can. So things get better, and to get better, they have to test them out. And to test them out, they need dummies. They need dummies. Did I butcher that? I hope I didn't. I'll check it later. Anyways, so they need dummies to make it work. And those people that jump at the sight of new things, those are the dummies that they pick. I'm telling you. That's why, see, I had the G3, the iPhone G3 back when it was only on AT&T. And compared to the very first version of the iPhone, the G3 was the latest at the time, right? And I liked it, but the fourth came out and I just couldn't afford it anymore. So I switched over to Android. And to be frank and honest, I don't think I'll ever go back to Apple. There's just too many things that you gotta pay for, I think. I don't know. It's got apps now. I don't think you gotta pay. Back then, you had to pay for it. I don't know what the fuck you had to pay for. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about because I'm not an iPhone expert because it's been forever since I owned an iPhone. And nobody cares about iPhones, to be honest. You know, even though my bubble looks green on your end, I can make it look blue on my end. So do what you want with that information. Although I gotta say, the iPhone, okay. If we want to compare what's better, well, you have to take into account what do they use around the world. So in order for things to get better, it has to be used more often. Is that true? Because what about Lamborghinis? They're supposed to be top of the line, right? And not a lot of people have them. But we're not talking about Lamborghinis. We're talking about fucking phones that are more accessible to people. Now, I just hope that with this whole phone shit, I hope that Elon Musk has figured it out with this new phone that's supposedly going to charge itself, solar power, right? And it's supposed to mine, I think, Bitcoin, was it? I believe it was Bitcoin. It's supposed to do all that. But still, we're not sure. But anyways, that's what the world is worried about today. Meanwhile, we're this is what the world is worried about the last couple of days. Self-driving cars getting pulled over. So it was news. It was everywhere. I don't understand why it's big news. It's just the car that got pulled over. There's billions of millions of cars of police interaction with cars being happening every day and every hour. So I don't know what the problem is, or I don't know what the amusement is. I do, but I don't because it's interesting. Because like I said, this will be written in history books, and you'll be able to read it. Well, probably the kids of your kids will be able to read about it. I feel like we're going through an era that in maybe 4 or 5 years we'll be looking at it the same way when we were during high school during the history class when they were teaching us about what happened during World War II or right before it or around those eras. I feel like we're at that stage of humanity's interaction with our time. I don't know, but I feel like that's where we're at. And the weird thing is that mostly everything's being recorded nowadays. Well, look at what I'm doing. I'm recording what the fuck's happening. It was in San Francisco that this car got pulled over? Probably, yeah. One of those techie states of counties. But yeah, it just feels like the world is going mad. Mad crazy. There's that, and there's also... But the self-driving vehicle happened a couple days back. I want to say it was over the weekend. It was right before or during the weekend, one of those days. But it made headlines. I don't know why. Also, about what happened, was it on the 12th? Yeah, the 12th, right? In New York, is it Brooklyn? The shooting? This is some crazy shit. So apparently this guy hopped in the fucking train. When the train came close to where it was supposed to stop, this fucker threw a gas mask on, and set off a smoke bomb. Up after like hours after the incident, they still didn't know or had any. Maybe they did, but they just didn't want to disclose anything. But apparently, they didn't have any information of what had happened and where did the fuck or why the shooting, right? Or what was the cause or who or anything. But anyways, apparently there's 10 people shot, about 5 critical, I think I read, and it was 30 plus rounds that were set off, and there's 29 people in the hospital, and they found a 9mm semi-auto handgun. How can they tell if this is a semi-auto? It's in the semi-auto same bullets as the regular gun. I don't know. I'm not an expert in guns, so yeah. But the weird thing is, it's not the weird thing, but they know they have a person of interest. Person of interest known as Frank R. James is a 62-year-old, and he's the person of interest. But also, they're looking into social media. Somebody else with the same name and has things that they posted that makes it look suspicious too as well. So they have a name of interest and a picture of a person of interest, but the name matches 2 different people. The world is going mad. People, I just don't even know what to think about the situations like this because it's scary. Because look, I'm on the road a lot of my fucking time during the day. I spend a lot of time driving around, a lot of time different places because of my job. Now I don't spend in places where there's a lot of people. Well, random people, I should say, because that would be more or less what you get in a scenario where you're locked up in a tube with a bunch of wacky people that are traveling. I don't even know how many miles per hour underground. So I don't know what that does to people. And I don't know what living in a big city does to people. I've been in big cities, and I don't like even visiting big cities. Speaking of big cities, you know what? I'm honestly sick and tired of all this people bashing on LA, saying that it's gotten worse. Well, it's gotten worse. But when you talk shit about LA, when you talk shit about LA, you make all California look bad. I don't think shit's as crazy out here in the Inland Empire. LA County sounds like they are going wild still out there with all the mask regulations and all that bullshit. But as far as what my day to day is around here, it's fairly the same as it used to be. I'm gonna go as far as to say that it seems like people forgot already. Yeah, but also people forgot, and some people didn't pay attention to when they said that the mollusks didn't work. They were no good. I gotta say the mollusks because I don't want the fucking shit to pick up what I'm talking about. But anyways, they don't work. Anyways, they say they don't work. The only ones that they works on the NK or whatever the fuck they are, the 45 ones. I don't know. I don't even know if the 45 millimeter handgun is what we're talking about here. But those are the ones that work. Yeah, it's crazy, you know. But the weird thing about this guy is, I find him to be, he needs to be held accountable. Somebody that has two first names for a full name. You're suspicious. You did it, my friend. You did something wrong. Anyways, speaking of the world going crazy, it's now I saw a video before of, you know, the people should have the right to own a gun. And I don't know how owning a gun is. I don't know how acquiring a license is. But I have heard the comparison that a car is very similar. It's technically a weapon, right? And to be able to operate a car, one is required to take a written test and a driving test. Now, when you go take a gun license test, what do you take? Do you take a written test? Do you take a visual test? Is that a visual? Like where you show them you know how to handle the gun? Like, do you take one of those? Because if a car is compared to a gun, then why aren't they both being licensed the same way? There's so many dumb people out in the world that shouldn't have guns. There's so many dumb parents out there that shouldn't have guns. And when accidents happen, when kids are fucking stupid, teenagers are fucking stupid, especially male teenagers are fucking stupid between the ages of 13 and 25, I'm going to say. Because I don't think I got any of this shit right till I was 25. I don't think I started seeing the picture till I was 25. And I dare to say till I was closer to my 30s. But where I'm getting with this is that, and one of the East Coast or the Midwest fucking, or the Mideast, whatever the fuck, apparently two teens were testing out body armor. And what best way to test the body armor than having it on you, literally put on you, and you getting shot at, just making sure it works. Now, since we're allowed to sue anybody for anything, say you bought a product and it didn't work, and you got hurt, seriously hurt, or mildly hurt, or hurt in general. Now you're allowed to have legal actions against them. The affected person is allowed to have legal action against them. Now, in this case, are they allowed to sue them? And if they're allowed, how can the person that was affected sue them? They're not there no more. And I'm going to make this joke because I think this whole shit is a joke. In what fucking brain fits that you are not gonna get hurt even though you're wearing body armor? The point of the body armor is supposed to be, and mind you, again, I repeat this, I don't own a gun. I don't know shit about guns. I've only shot guns a couple times in my life because I can't get license for them. That's why I do like them though. I do really, really want some guns. But I'm not allowed to have them. Anyways. So there's one arrested and one dead. Now, do you think the guy that died, the teen that died, was the one that was shooting or the one that was testing the armor? Because the bullet could have ricocheted and hit the other guy that was shooting. That could have been like the most freak of the freak accidents that you ever seen. But no, it was the kid. I say kid because these guys were 16, 17-year-old kids. The 16-year-old apparently died, and the 17-year-old is now in jail now. You would think that a year of life in this planet makes a little more difference. And not in this case, I guess. And apparently they lied on the police, not they, but he lied on the police report too, so, giving false information on what had really happened. Now, word of advice, I suggest you go after the body armor company. Yeah, I take legal action, my man. You know, they failed. Sue them. See what happens. Well, and the sad thing is that none of them were available for comment. Because one's dead and the other one's in jail. So can't comment when you're handling that. World is going wild. I mean, kids testing body armor on each other, and then there's another asshole fucking shooting up fucking subway train stations, but inside the train. There's assholes pulling over self-driving vehicles. We have no respect no more in this world now. Zero respect. This world has zero respect in such a way that when I'm at work and the safety guy is trying to give us a fucking meeting, I start judging him for everything that he's trying to teach me. I don't know why I find this super offensive when somebody that clearly is way out of shape, that you clearly can't even reach your fucking toes with the tip of your fingers, and that, my friends, I find offensive. This is where I draw the line. When an out of shape person is trying to tell you how to stretch, how to work out, I find that very offensive. And now I know we can't be fucking assholes to everybody. We got to take everybody's what they know. We got to take it in and learn from them. But when the person is clearly not in the path that you think it's right for you, why should you listen to them? You shouldn't. Especially if they're out of shape. I clearly could tell that you never taken care of yourself since, well, they claim to have been in the army. So I don't know if they're probably fucked up from them. That's why they can't reach their toes. That's probably the case. They're probably fucked up from something that they picked up a backpack wrong or they held a rifle the wrong way. I don't know. I'm not in that world, so I don't know. But don't fucking come tell me how to stretch when you clearly don't know how to stretch yourself. That, my friends, I find offensive. And everybody should. And if you're offended that I'm saying this offensive comment, take it with a grain of salt. You ever had a cut? And have you ever put salt in that cut? Yeah, it sucks. So take it with that feeling. That it sucks to suck. Anyways. Apparently also the Amazon is unionizing. Now, a lot of people are excited. Because this will give the workers a voice. But what they're not telling you is the ones you join the union, the ones every single one of you guys accept to join the union is, I don't think the fucking union is going to be for you for free. You got to pay your dues, bitch. And on top of that, they'll act like they're in there to protect your rights. But I don't think they are. Unions is just another fucking form of business that they've set up to make more money. I was gonna say to control, but it's not what the fuck are they controlling. They're not controlling anybody. They're controlling the whole system. At least they are. They're controlling the way they make money. And I was listening to this Rising. Is it Rising? Yeah. Rising with Sagar and I forgot the chick's name. But this chick, she's talking all excited that they've unionized and this and that. But this bitch does not understand a single fact about unions and what it's like to work with a union. And what I'm saying about unions, this is what I'm basing it off of my experience with unions. Now, I got fired of this fucking job. I kind of talked a little bit about it with this other, is it Rick Tree? I think it was him with him that I talked about it. Well, my experience wasn't great. And that was my first experience. But they say you got to also live by other people's experience. And the same experience that I had, it was the same experience that my parents had with the unions. So, what the fuck do you think I'm going to be for? If my experience was bad, and my dad's experience was bad, and my mother's experience was bad with unions, you think I'm going to be excited about fucking unions? No, on the contrary. I would think unions is bullshit. They're in it just for the money. All right. They act like they're gonna help you, and they're in there with you, just right there listening to what they say. And you turn around to look at them, and you're gonna tell them when they tell you, when the fucking employer of the company that you're supposed to be in charge of tells you, when I tell you to do something, you do it, even though your shift is up. And this asshole comes later until you told them to go fuck themselves, every single one of them. When you tell them that, they turn around and say, "You want to pursue this? Do you want to challenge it?" No, bitch, I don't want to challenge it. I was challenging in there. Where the fuck were you this whole time while I was fucking fighting my case? You were nowhere to be found. So fuck unions. That's what I say. Nah, they're no good for nobody. All they do is run a business that they try to make money on. And they're going to make money of every single one of you if you join that fucking union. I think there's better ways to resolve this issue. And unionizing, it's only going to keep benefiting the companies. They claim that it's, we're for you guys, we're for this. If they were really for the worker, would they charge you? And if it's a union and the union is being unionized by the people that work at that place, why do we need to pay you if you're a worker there too? Excuse me? It's all just a waste of money. For regular workers like me, it clearly is just another waste of money. And that's been my experience with unions. Now, there's people that will claim, my experience has been the best. We suck each other off at the meetings. The shop steward comes and jerks me off every time. He licks my rim hole. They do all that. By all means, do it. If you're into that lifestyle, it's I don't care if you're into that lifestyle. Just please don't fucking ruin it for the rest of the people that are fighting for their rights without the fucking unions. That's what we should be doing. Why do we always got to lean into another group of fucking people to protect our rights? Why can't we protect our own rights? We don't have fucking rights to protect our rights? What is this about? What is this, fucking Shanghai, China? Where people are screaming at night, yelling through the windows, going fucking crazy apparently? But how much true is in that? No. How successful is China? And do they have unions? I think not. Anyways, it was fun. This has been fun. I enjoy doing this all by myself. I had a different conversation set up with somebody else today, and it just didn't pan out the right way. Um, Things didn't go that way, but we make them work. We work with what we got, and we do what we can. Anyways, this is our 2 cents. Again, please hit that subscribe button. It is I, your host, Oscar. And that's it for today. Doses.